Nvidia just hit new all-time highs. Jerome Powell does not comment on the current government situation. And also Tesla is currently under an investigation. What's going on, guys? It's Ricky with TechBud Solutions here with a super quick market update. Just want to keep you up to date with what's going on. I really hope that you learned something new, and friendly reminder, I upload new videos every single day about the stock market. So if you have not already, make sure you click that subscribe button and drop a thumbs up if you feel like we earned it. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. As you can see, Tesla is down, but honestly not as much as it should be. It's been showing signs of lower highs, lower lows based off of the recent timeline. But if you actually pay attention to the larger timeframes, remember, different timeframes give you different perspectives. You can see that Tesla has been gapping up, right? Gapped up, hit its resistance right around 460, 470. If you look at previous patterns, this is a previous resistance range. I see this as an overbought reversal. There is no confirmation of a sell-off, which does not justify a short. With that being said, why is it selling off today? So the big news today is that U.S. opens probe into nearly 2.9 million Tesla vehicles over full self-driving traffic violations. In civil and eventually criminal court, this is deadly fraud will be the downfall of Tesla. This is not my post. This is something that someone else shared. Do I really think that this will lead to the downfall of Tesla? No, but I don't think it's a good look for a company that's full personality is full self-driving and autonomy vehicle, where regulators are already deeming your software unsafe, right? So U.S. opens probe into 2.8 million Tesla vehicles over traffic violations when using full self-driving. Says the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration said on Thursday that it's opening an investigation into 2.88 million Tesla vehicles equipped with the full self-driving system over traffic violations. So again, just something to pay attention to. If things actually begin to come about, then obviously there's a red flag there. Tesla's always being investigated. It is, again, I don't agree with Tesla's valuation right now. But also when I see news like this, I really feel like these people are kind of just fishing for negative news. Tesla's always been investigated. It's the leader in what it is that it does. So it always has the spotlight on it. That's just something that I've picked up on. Either people really don't like Elon, don't like his companies that he is either a part of or affiliated with. So there's always these targets and attacks again. But if something is found, then that does become an issue. Tesla's always literally being investigated. So I don't see this to be a huge red flag. Just, again, a nice little retracement, as also NASDAQ market is selling off. So it's not just Tesla that's selling off. It's also NASDAQ. Now, don't get it twisted. I think Tesla is incredibly overvalued based off of what it's currently trading at and versus what it's probably should be trading at sub $200 per share. And I own Tesla. I own Tesla at $200 per share. That being said, I would never buy Tesla at $450 because Tesla just as a company isn't there yet. And what I mean by that is if you actually pay attention to its actual valuation, we can do a video about this later. Not only does it have an insane PE ratio, but it's a company worth $1.5 trillion, yet it's a company that has a net income of 5.9, and it just lost its EV credits, which made up about 20 to 30% of its net revenue or net profit. So the only expectation as it loses those EV credits is that its demand is going to fall. It's going to make less money since it no longer has those EV credits, and the demand falling is only going to lead to less sales. So it's going to be very interesting. Not just this upcoming quarter. That's not what I'm saying. The quarters that follow after that, on how Tesla reports earnings and if they exceed expectation. Even analysts say that there's a 32% downside on Tesla. It's just very important. People often say never bet against Elon. No. You can make a ton of money betting against Elon because it's not Elon you're betting against. It's the people that pump the stock price up to an insane valley where it never belonged, so then it has to correct itself. It's knowing when to bet against the company, right? I'm not saying that it's a safe bet at 430 as we are not entering an active downtrend and markets as a whole are still bullish. So again, when markets are bullish, they support irrational valuations. It's not until if NASDAQ and the S&P 500 begin to fall, then yes, Tesla will see one of the hardest retracements because it's one of the most overvalued. Just wanted to make sure that that was very clearly understood. In today's live, not even live, it's a pre-recorded is what I ended up finding out. Fed Powell does not comment on monetary policy or economic outlook in welcoming remarks at Community Bank Conference. So Not too sure if that's why during that pre-market session we saw a slight retracement. But if you actually pay attention to how much consolidation the NASDAQ market had, it really had no influence. So markets started to later sell off. Do they not like the uncertainty? No, I really do believe that, again, the longer that we are in this government shutdown, the more uncertainty that will begin to get factored in. I do agree long term, markets do not care about government shutdowns. But remember, the initial reaction this time was a bullish reaction when the government went into a shutdown. The market closed in the green. I think it almost made new all-time highs. That just shows how irrational the market is. Now, this doesn't mean you need to sell your long-term positions. I'm not selling my long-term positions. That just means that don't get these irrational valuations twisted for this short period of time and be surprised if there's corrections later on, right? The longer that we prolong a pullback, the harder the markets will fall once that trigger presents itself. So let's go ahead and talk about the last thing. Nvidia. Nvidia surges to record high market cap of 4.75 trillion. The stock has now added 2.6 trillion of market cap since the lows that it had in April 7th. I don't know if you guys remember a video that I uploaded around that time. I bought Nvidia with my investment account. That's my long-term account, my daughter's account, and also Rachel's account. Nvidia is one of those few companies that, although again the market is incredibly overhyped up and overvalued, and I even think Nvidia at the current valuation is overvalued. I own Nvidia at sub $100 per share. I know people that own Nvidia at $25, $40 per share. So much better price than me. And let me tell you, the one thing we all have in common is we are not buying more Nvidia at nearly $200 per share. It's not worth the risk. Very simple. We all know that, yes, markets are very bullish right now, but from how much longer, right? It's the downside risk of how much it could potentially lose. What is that, like 30 to 40%, is not worth the 10 to maybe 15% in short term that it could possibly rally before it gives it all back. Remember, I'm in Nvidia as an investment. So as it pulls back, I only intend to buy more. I don't intend to sell it. Not for me, not for my daughter's account, not for my lady's account. The whole intention is I want to buy when Nvidia is a good deal, when the stress and the markets are bleeding. Not now when everyone is hyping it up and it continues to make new highs. It's cool. It's cool to see the account grow. It's cool to see the returns. But guess what? We all know that it's short-lived. We all know that these valuations are incredibly irrational. And I think AI has a big part in doing so, right? OpenAI is setting up all these strategic partnerships in investing into these companies, but in return, they must, give something back to OpenAI. I think it's a new gimmick that hopefully doesn't blow up in their face, but we'll see. And that is why I'm choosing to be less aggressive. Again, if you have a more aggressive approach, then I say put your money where your mouth is and buy Nvidia as much as you can at $190, $200 per share. And maybe if markets continue to rally to 250 to 300 for Nvidia in the short term, it'll pay off for you. But for me, it's just not worth the risk. Remember, people are all wired in different ways, different risk tolerance for different, risk threshold is the best way that I can put it. And because the market is somewhat bearish today, it's just the pullback. The market pulling back today doesn't mean anything that you need to freak out. I really didn't like any of the setups that we had this morning. So I kept my trading super simple. I went back to the basics as NASDAQ market was showing signs of resistance at these overbought levels on the 5-minute time frame. Like I said, different time frames give you different perspectives. On the 1-minute time frame when the market opened, you can't really see much. It's just consolidating, right? But if you look at the 5-minute, you could quickly see that as markets were consolidating, we're at a resistance and there's huge pullback potential to yesterday's lows, right? And these aren't just lows that we had yesterday. These are lows that we've had all week. You could see that since Friday of last week, we've been consolidating right around $600 to $603 per share. So what I ended up doing was I opened up a position on SQQQ, kept the position very small. It's just the cash, or what's it called? A very light position, as in there's no margin, there's no leverage. It's literally, I think it's 4,500 shares. Literally nothing, not nothing. It's just a very small position size because first off, every day is not a day worth trading. Second, if your criteria is not being met or you're not seeing the consistent flow or trend that you want to with the trades that you wanted to trade, there's no reason to overcomplicate it. I would rather stay cash. To have fun in today's live trading session, I kept it simple. When SQQQ was showing signs of a recovery, I saw the potential on QQQ to retrace. So SQQQ goes up when the NASDAQ market goes down. This is not an investment vehicle. This is just a quick trade. As this thing goes up, I'll make money as NASDAQ market retraces. I'm only up $600. Even if I end up the day at $800 or $1,000, cool. I'm happy with it. I didn't risk very much. And again, this is not an aggressive moving stock, something like Irene or Oklo or TEM. It's not one of those. It follows the NASDAQ market. So it's a nice, fun way to have some exposure and some pullback potential with the NASDAQ without having to short and being able to go long on something that goes up when the NASDAQ market goes down. It's a triple leveraged inverse ETF for those that don't know it. If you've watched my videos for a while, you should be very familiar with SQQQ and TQQQ. Again, we talked about this within our live trading session today. I trade live every single morning. I'm not saying that you have to join. I'm just saying that if you learn best by watching other people do, I'd love to invite you to my live trading session tomorrow. And if you want to check it out, it's the second link in the description down below. It's a one-time payment for lifetime access. It's not free. If you want free content, that's why I have over 4,700 videos on YouTube. But if you want to work with me on a closer basis, meaning watch me trade live, I still don't tell you what to do. I never will. I don't tell other people where to buy. It's just for you to watch and to hear my thought process behind every trade I take. For a lot of the people that we do have as a part of LPP, they just really like the way that I kind of like speak through things with, I would say, my thoughts out loud. If that's something that you want to experience, second link in the description down below. And it also includes an A to Z video lesson library that's designed for complete beginners. So again, feel free to check it out. I appreciate you guys' time. I hope that earned a thumbs up. And like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take care, team.